Hi, I'm Carrie, and this is Sandra's Sisterhood. This is a YouTube channel for the single and childless, not by choice person. The video today is you don't have to adopt. If you're single and childless, I'm telling you something you already know. However, sometimes the outside pressures can make it seem like this is a choice that is selfish, or if we don't adopt, then our childlessness is something that we're doing to ourselves. And I'm here to let you know that you choosing not to adopt is perfectly acceptable. And in fact, if you don't want to do it, it would be wrong to adopt. If you do want to adopt, I think that's great too. The whole point of this video is just to emphasize that your choices are reasonable and okay, even though we experience a lot of outside pressure on what we are or not doing around being childless, and then especially around being single. So, if you don't want to adopt, it doesn't make you a bad person. No matter how many people tell you that it's an option, and even tell you how wonderful it would be if you would did that. Think about what you're giving to somebody else. Yeah, that would be true, except it's not true if you do something you don't want to do or you're not fully 100% bought into. Again, you're not a horrible person for your concept or your perception or your image of wanting to be a mother included biological children. It's understandable. And if you thought about adoption and you're like, you know what, that's not what I want to do, no matter what the reasons are, that's okay. For me, for example, I don't want to adopt. I think if I can't have my own biological children, then I'd rather pivot and shift my life into something else. I know people do adopt. Being single, I also get asked, why don't you do it on your own? Because I don't want to do it on my own. The way that I envisioned having children included a partner. It included being pregnant. It included going through sort of those milestones. And just because I don't want to adopt doesn't make me a horrible person or a selfish person. It's okay to set a boundary with those people around you who, after they ask you, they kind of push you or even get intrusive, right? If you don't want to discuss this topic and feel like you have to justify your choice, then you get to set a boundary. It doesn't make you rude, it doesn't make you disrespectful. This is a major topic, and not wanting unsolicited advice is absolutely reasonable. You know, we hear parents talk about not wanting unsolicited advice on how to parent. I guess I don't want unsolicited advice on how to not parent either. Like with, a lot of deeply personal, life changing topics, it's okay to set this boundary. Also, if you want to adopt and you've thought about it and considered all the different options and how it would impact your life, then do so. I think it's a great option for you. But the key in this is it's what you want to do. You're not feeling pressure to do it. You're not feeling like what it would look like if you don't adopt, right? It's what you feel called to, it's what you feel excited about, and you have the supports in order to raise a child. Again, it doesn't make you a horrible person if you don't want to adopt. The other thing I want to kind of bring up is why people feel the need to say this or ask this question. And I think it's because when people find out you're childless, particularly if you're childless not by choice, they may feel like, oh, now I can give some solutions to this problem of childlessness. And as if you haven't like racked your brain and thought about all of these things, as if they're telling you something new. Uh, all of us who are in this spot know that we've thought about everything. So if you're thinking you're telling us something new or coming up with some idea about how to have kids, you haven't. You're not. We have thought about it all. You know, And I don't know why people do this. I think maybe they think they're being supportive, or it's just an awkward topic that people aren't used to having. But it's okay to set this boundary, right? You don't have to do adoption or fostering or having a child on your own or in vitro or continuing in vitro. You don't have to do all of those things. It's okay to not do them or stop doing those things. And you do not have to explain your rationale or your reasoning why. And it doesn't mean that you've done this to yourself if you choose not to do those things or stopping those things. This is like really emotionally heavy, heavy stuff that unless somebody has been in this situation, they really have no business giving you advice on it, right? I kind of talk about, in other griefs, like nobody would say, if, just have another child if a child passed away, or just get right back out there if a spouse passed away. Like they wouldn't sort of view that grief as a problem to be solved and then reply with a lot of intrusive suggestions or comments, right? Some people probably do, but I think it's more widely known that that's real lame, to say the least, to do that. It's okay to sit in your grief. My hope for you and intention for you would be that you won't get stuck in your grief for a long period of time. And I know that when you're in that space, these questions can feel really hurtful. So I want you to use this video as some validation that even if you don't want to adopt, you're not a horrible person. You're not contributing to the downfall of society. It's okay. You get to do what feels right for you, particularly when you're having to really readjust your life and what you thought your life would be. So, while childlessness isn't a choice for some people, how you choose to respond to it, what choices you choose to make because of it, those are your choice, no matter what anybody tells you. So, for more videos for the single and childless, not by choice person, click subscribe and follow Saunders Sisterhood.